welcome back to the channel. Today I got a video that I really didn't want to make, but everyone makes mistakes, and I happened to make one this past week, so this video is going to be hopefully me fixing that. So we've all done this probably. If you drive long enough and don't pay attention or don't practice safe parking and departing processes, you could curb your rim. So unfortunately, I curbed one of my rims. Let me show you what I'm talking about. But today we're going to try to fix that. And it was my rear, one of my back rear wheels. Let me see if I can bring this in for you guys, if I can even find it. So I did touch it up with a Sharpie because I did this about a week ago and it was really bothering me. So I'm not sure if that's picking up, but pretty much all right here I curbed my wheel and it was just that shiny metal. I took a little chunk out of the rubber right here. But so yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just get this tire and I'm gonna get this wheel off the car, start prepping it to fix this, repaint the wheel. I got a few other spots that could be touched up anyway. So we're gonna prep this wheel for complete restoration. So stick around. Okay, that's not cool. Alright, so literally, let me show you what we got here. Got the wheel off the car and I wiped the whole wheel down. I cleaned it, then I wiped it down with acetone. So now you can see the damage. And it wasn't a bad blow, but it was, I heard it. I knew something bad happened. When I got home, I threw my temper tantrum for a couple of hours, but just had to get on it and get it corrected. So you can see here the chunk of rubber that was removed from that. I think it was a curb. I'm not sure how it happened. I parked the car and then I pulled out of the parking spot forward and this happened. I don't know. I'm not sure what I did. So let me show you all the parts or the tools that I'm using for this job. Got a little sanding block here. I've got lots of sandpaper here. Multiple varying grits of sandpaper. I've got a Dremel with a 400 grit wheel on it. I'm going to use this to try just to remove the paint around the area. I'm not really looking to use this to like sand out scratches or anything. I have some bondo metal reinforced filler. High strength filler can be drilled and tapped. So I want something that is strong. I've got this pre-taped masking film. I've had this for a little while, so I just figured today's the day. I've got this primer, high build primer surfacer, flexible acrylic coating for priming steel, aluminum, fiberglass, and plastics. So pretty much covers everything. I've had this Duplicolor high performance wheel coating. Hopefully a color that's going to match the wheel. And finally I have this VHT wheel paint matte clear. So it's like a satin finish on this wheel. Hopefully this can replicate it. If not, I'll either have to get the glass one and start over or whatever. This is only this is a factory reproduction wheel, so thankfully it wasn't one of my OEM wheels. And they only cost $210 for this 10.5 inch, 20 by 10.5 inch. So if this doesn't go well, I'll just buy another wheel. It isn't the end of the world, but being how I treat my car and the car shows and stuff I go to, this is not acceptable. So it has to be fixed or replaced, no question. So alright, I'm going to get started. We're going to start removing this paint around this area so the bondo has a nice place to adhere to, and we're just going to use the bondo to fill in these scratches, and then we're gonna sand it out, prime it, paint it, clear it. Sounds easy, right? Okay, so I'm ready to go. I do have this kit. There was a kit that I bought with these wheels. I think it goes from 120 up to 400 grit. This is the 400 grit, so this is the least abrasive, so I'm going to try it out first. I'm going to wear this coronavirus approved mask, and just for safety. Check that, I decided to go with a 180. I'm not screwing around. Really, I think what I've done is just remove the paint. There, you can definitely still see all the jagged marks from the curb hit. So from here, I'm going to mix up just a little bit of bondo. So I can take this mask off my face. I'm going to go ahead and use this filler. You know, this, I was really hoping I'd be able to find something a little bit smaller, because this is almost, I'm sure I'll never use this in my life, considering I don't do paint and body for a living, and this is my first time even trying this, and I'm just for fun. So I'm going to go ahead and follow the instructions on how to use this. You know, you have to add a hardener to it, putty and then a hardener, and mix it up real good. And then we'll spread it over the damage, let it set, sand it, and continue. Alright, I have my bondo mixed up here. I did that off camera due to the fact that I've never done it before, and possibly did it incorrect, so I don't want to put false steps out in the inner webs. So I'm just going to kind of work this in to all the areas. Heavy there. Maybe you should be wearing gloves. This spot over here doesn't really need much. Do a little on there. This stuff is getting pretty hard now, so I don't think I can even spread that anymore. That's quick. That set pretty quick. Yeah, this stuff's like a ball now. So I'm going to give it its proper time to cure. Yeah, it's peeling off. Then I'm going to come back after it's hardened, and we're going to sand it nice and smooth, and move on to the primer step. Okay, so I'm back. This bondo has had time to set, and I'm going to start sanding. The instructions on the bondo say to start with 80 grit. I have 120, so I'm going to start with 120. I did let it sit in water. I'm not sure how big of a difference that is than going dry, but I'm basically just going to, there's kind of a large area, it was applied pretty thick, so I'm going to have to go through this with some pretty gritty stuff. So hopefully the 180, or I'm sorry, the 120 works pretty good. Probably let it sit for 25 minutes or so. Alright, so I'm basically just going to keep sanding this until it seems like it's pretty smooth, and then move up to the next grit. So I'll come back when we achieve that. Alright, here's where I'm at right now. Kind of went through the 120, removed really the majority of the bondo I put on there, and you can see, hopefully, the spots where it actually stayed in the crevices. Maybe I can move it down. Kind of hard to pick up on the camera for whatever reason. Well, it is in there. Just hide. So I'm going to move to a 320 grit, providing I have it. And after 320, make sure everything seems smooth. I'm going to move it up to, or we'll be done with the sanding for now. I'm going to spray in these areas with some primer and then let that dry, and then we'll sand the primer, and then we'll get ready to paint. So I did switch to a little bit smaller of a sanding block, just because it's a small area, and I found one. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. It's really just to smooth it out, get rid of the scratches from the rougher sandpaper. So I'm just going to work on this for a few minutes, then I'll... Okay. So I did sand it down with a 320 pretty well, but just ever so noticeable areas that you could feel the low spots. So I went ahead and did another layer with the bondo. This time I used a lot less, spread it on a lot thinner. It is on there right now. So I'm just going to go over that. I'm probably going to just start with a 320 on that. There's not a whole lot on here, and I'm just going to carefully sand it this time, make sure that I don't go below like the surface level and like get into those scrapes again. I guess that's what I did the first time, I'm not sure. But okay, back after the second application of the bondo, and I just finished sanding it. I didn't take it down as much as the first time. I think I over sanded it the first go around, or I was with the 180 or the 120 or whatever it was. I think it was 120. I think I got a little aggressive with it because I thought I had so much to cut through that I think I went a little too far. So this time around, I mean, you can actually see a layer all the way across of the stuff still, and feels pretty smooth. So I'm going to stop right there before I screw it up. Pretty happy with the way it feels at the moment, so I don't see any need to continue sanding. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this whole wheel up. I'm going to rinse it off with water, dry it. I'm going to tape the inner barrel of the wheel up because there's no need to paint that. And I'm going to mask off just the area. It's kind of an area like right here. Shoot in the primer and let that sit, and then probably we'll be done with it for the day. Pick it back up in the morning, get it finished off. So I'm going to go ahead and get that cleaned up and start the primer process. Okay, so I went to use my primer, or to open the can, and when I opened the lid, somehow the nozzle broke right off. So we're using this Duplicolor primer, sandable, yada yada. It says one of the things it says it's ideal for is metal, so I taped it off as good as I could. Not a great job, but and I just wiped it down with acetone, so I'm ready to spray this in. Alright, there's the first coat. I'm just going to let that sit for a few minutes and follow it up with a second one a little thicker and be done with it. Alright, I'm going to call it a day. Got that primer shot in. It's black primer, but it is a different color, so black, different shade. You can kind of see a line right there. Upwards is where I sprayed it in at, and right at the top, it probably is going to require a little more sanding. So tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and sand it some more to see if I can get it to look perfect. But if not, as long as the black paint job comes out okay, then I'll probably call this wheel salvaged. But we'll find out. Alrighty, to bring everyone up to speed, this morning I sanded the whole entire wheel. Made sure the area that I was working on, that I really got that good to get it nice and smooth, and I'd say 99.9% of the previous damage is now gone. So I'm pretty happy about that. Sanding this wheel was a pain, and I did the best I could. I kind of ran out of patience, but you know, it's pretty good. I've spent multiple hours on it. After I finished sanding it with 600 grit, I wiped it down with alcohol, and we are ready to start applying the paint. So I'm going to mask up, hit up this Duplicolor high performance wheel coating, hoping it's pretty much the same color as previous. So let's get rolling. Alright, I'm going to call that the first coat. That seemed like that went down pretty good. So I'm going to let this sit a few minutes, tape down this plastic better to make sure nothing, it's kind of windy out today, make sure nothing flies into the paint. Alright, here comes coat number 2. Alright, we're going to let that sit a few minutes and try to just do, hopefully just one more coat, a nice thick third coat. Okay, I repositioned a little bit and kind of propped up one side just a tad. Just because when the can's like this, it doesn't spray as well as if it was upright like that. So trying to make that a little better. But alright, let's see if this is the last coat. Alright, so that might be it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a few minutes to dry and take a look at it, see where we're at. If I got 100% coverage, then I'm going to let this dry for a few minutes and shoot the clear on it. Alright, I went ahead and set the wheel up just to kind of give myself a nice spray situation here, but I got this VHT high temperature wheel paint and matte clear, so I'm going to give this a couple coats. Hopefully everything goes well, and this project will be done. Okay, time for the third coat of clear coat. This is going to be like a medium coat according to the instructions. I'm going to try to accomplish that, and then this will be done. Okay, so it's probably been 2 weeks. Hope everyone's surviving the corona. So here's the wheel, back on the car, and you know it might not be 100% match to the factory color, but neither was the aftermarket like original color either. It was really close, but not 100%. And also, this wheel's now not ceramic coated, and the other ones are, and the ceramic seemed to put a little bit of a sheen on it as well. So if I was to ceramic coat this wheel, maybe it would match even more. But regardless, no one's gonna know that this rim was curbed, and I repaired it at home and rattle canned it, and it's pretty much good as new. So, alright, that's it. Hopefully that was informative. I had a lot of fun, kind of learned some stuff as I went. Hadn't ever done anything like that before, but now I have, and it cost me like 40 bucks. So, can't beat that. You know, I made a mistake. It only cost me 40 bucks to fix it, and I've got bondo for the rest of my life, I guess. So, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. So if you like this video and found it informative, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. And hopefully I'll be coming out with some more videos here soon. Kind of stuck at home, like the rest of the country. I am, I guess, essential. I don't know. I'm working from home, but I am still working, so that's good. Still got a paycheck. But all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, and see you soon. Peace.